48, that's 16. That's 1648. Here it is, 70, I'm on that, money, 80, 48. That's 80, 48. Pretty good set of average, 72, 72, 60, no, 71, $71, $70, 24.70. Here money. What do you got? Close the door. The doors are closed.
I'll do it.
Wait a minute, we'll count this out. You always want to know it. They would agree. Be 100 something cattle all off one man. 100 and something. Now, it'd be a set of steers right here. You talking about something nice. I'm being conditioned, black-hatted, black-vaulted, something nice. Hey, it'd be 34 each still. The man got 100 up here and has a popping. Rod Gordon, you got a phone call on 334. They say it here. Boy, there'd be a proper good set of black steers, black white baby. 34 condition the best and long round. The man got 100 and something. It'll be $85. 85, 82, 3, 82, 75 cents, 72, I'm going down 3. Put them on a 27.
317.
light, right?
360. inside a few chapters of the history of the Bourbon Stockyard. He remembers Sunday trips here with his father more than 6 decades ago. And it's fitting he's back as the last cattle in the storied past of the yard are sold.
They used to get trainloads of Jersey cattle from Mississippi and put them over here in the pens. You talk about miss this place. It's just like home to me.
130 years of history will become just that at the end of the business day. The Home of the Innocents has bought this property and plans to spend up to $11 million transforming it into a home for neglected and abused children, although that may be hard to believe now.
Back when they announced that they were selling it to Home of the Innocent, there's been a lot of people around taking pictures and trying to put some books together and that kind of thing.
The yard, with its intricate wooden pens holding thousands of head of cattle and hogs, has seen a major city grow up around it since it moved to the east end of Market Street in 1869. The Bourbon Yard dominated the Kentucky market for more than a century, but things have slowed considerably the last few decades. But 4,000 to 7,000 animals continued to be sold here each week. That is, until today.
I hate to see this close. It's been here so long, and it seems like it's part of history. But it's everything, I guess, has its day, and this is it.
The slack from the sales ending here will be picked up by other yards, but that may not be the thing missed most by those associated with this piece of Louisville history.
We've got a lot of friends here, and that you probably won't, be around as much.
This is like an old farmer hangout. They come to the yard, and they go to town and get the wares, Tractor Supply, different places. Yeah. And it's gonna hurt. It's gotta hurt.
Mark Glover, Fox News at 10.
65 years of doing business downtown. The site of so many sales and so much history will now serve a new purpose. Here's Wave 3's Tony Hyatt.
For many of us, it may have been considered an eyesore that during the dog days of summer had quite an aroma. But for anyone who raises cattle, it was the place to keep the family farm going strong.
I used to bring cattle down here when times kind of hard for me, and I'd get that money and I'd go home and pay my bills. But it's not quite that way anymore, but I still like coming down here. This is just like a home,
The last 2 weeks we sold a lot of cattle, and some of us due to the fact that we're going to close and people wanted to sell here for the last time, and also wanted to get ahead of the spring work.
On this last day, many came here to see some old friends.
That's what I wanted to come for, like a funeral. But I can't help it. I see a lot of people here now that I know.
Or just to remember, Harold Hammond got his first job here in 1929.
Driving hogs across Main Street to the old Vistman plant, or driving cattle down Market Street to Campbell, and then over and in the alleyway to the old Louisville Provision Company. And you got 25 cents to doing it.
Final auction this evening. The 20-acre property was sold to the Home of the Innocents, which is building its new headquarters on the site. So tomorrow, for the first time in 165 years, the stockyard won't be open for business. Since 1834, cows and pigs have been sold at auction to farmers who then sell them to meat packing plants. It was a sentimental day for many who have done business at the stockyard for years, some since they were children.
There's just a lot of history here that's going to cease today. A lot of people have mixed emotions about it. It's been here so long. They've come here when their great-grandfathers done business here.
The stockyard won't be torn down until fall. Then it will take several years to finish the new Home of the Innocents facility.
Meantime, Kentucky tobacco farmers
is over 150 years, and you don't replace yards like this.
The property here has been purchased by the Home of the Innocents. In 2001, a campus for abused and neglected children will open on the former stockyard site. Kentucky tobacco farmers may be seeing...
Say goodbye.
You get $2 bet this morning. I'm going to get $2 bill.
A familiar voice among familiar faces.
I've dealt here for about 40 years. My dad dealt with us before that.
And before that, for 150 years, the Bourbon Stockyards was a gathering place where a living was made.
I just got out of service and I stopped here and went to work, and I guess I must have liked it because I stayed 47 years.
And what did you do here?
I bought slaughter calves for years for a packing house.
Hey, sell everything right here, minus the TV. We're going to sell this right here, 20. I'm going to get 20, I'm going to get 20, 10, I'm going to get 10.
Money made here is being spent in sentiment and for the home of the innocents.
Every dollar counts, and we really aren't expecting a large amount of money out of the auction. But what we wanted to do was get it back in the hands, useful hands, people that can make good use of this equipment.
But friends here tonight will have one last chance to see each other here at the Bourbon Stockyards this fall, November. That's when the structure will be demolished. $17 million later, this will be the new campus for the Home of the Innocents, where lives of abused and neglected children will be rebuilt. Reason for Jim Fisher to spend $11 on the coffee can filled with truck wash tokens.
And I was told that they paid $5 a piece. Now, it doesn't say anything about the Bourbon Stockyard on it, but there's about 4 pounds of brass there. So, well, my neighbor wanted to come, and I said, why not? Let's go there and buy something, you know. So, and it's going to be a good thing putting Home of the Innocents in here. You know, we need more space for that. So, that's a good idea.
Ricky Timberlake auctioned livestock here. Now he sells memories.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that was brought back memories.
Good memory?
Good memories, yes.
Stephanie Collins, Fox News at 10.